Good evening and welcome to the 9 o'clock news. I'm your host, John McThomas. On tonight's show, we'll be looking at how people are adapting to week 4 of lockdown, and we'll also be joined by a musical guest, but more of that later. Firstly, we'll cross to our London correspondent, Jeremy Napier, who's been speaking to one of the capital's budding entrepreneurs. Jeremy, good evening.
So sourdough starters, I've had one on the go for ages, to be honest. It's well ahead of this whole lockdown phenomenon. We on? Right. Thanks, John. Here in southwest London, the residents know all about the challenges of lockdown. In leafy Wimbledon, the locals are struggling to get hold of their most essential treasured possessions. And that's where young entrepreneur Freddie Maven Brown comes in.
Hi, Jeremy. Pleasure's all mine.
Freddie, lockdownessentials.com, where did that idea come from?
Well, it all started when I saw the queues at Troth. I mean, it's all well and good restocking eggs, pasta, etc. But what about the essential items?
But they are essential items, Freddie.
No. I'm talking about the essential items. I'm talking tahini. I'm talking yeast. I'm talking saucisson. The things we can't live without. Lockdownessentials.com has you covered. And every penny in a pound goes to the dolphins.
Wouldn't it make more sense to stock items people actually need during the lockdown? Toilet roll, eggs, unmoulded wax?
No. You've got it all wrong, Jeremy. You're completely out of touch with the people. We are your one-stop shop. I mean, for example, next week we've got an absolutely superb offer on artisan quiches. I'll send you a code.
Well, there we have it. Back to you, John.
Thanks, Jeremy. What a fascinating insight. Next, I'd like to welcome two guests to the show. We're hearing a lot of commentary around how the government is handling the pandemic, balancing the safety of the country's people with keeping the economy running. It's not an easy thing to get right. So this evening joining us, we have human rights activist Christian Pope and business analyst Dave Linton. Gentlemen, welcome.
Hi John, thanks for having me. May I start by saying that this pandemic has shown what an absolute farce the Tory government is. And my organisation, The Right Stuff, will be taking action. The people are just not being listened to, and it's about time someone did something about it.
First of all, John, the Conservative government is doing a very good job in very testing times. And secondly, I'm not sure Christian has a real understanding of what is going on here economically. We need to have a functioning country once this crisis is over.
Oh, great. As is usually the case, we're being directed by a man with a suit and a tie. Do you not see what's out there happening on the streets, man?
Well, no, actually, I've been staying in my house as we've been told to do, and there's nothing wrong with being smart. One should take pride in one's appearance.
This is the problem, John. We're being led by these people, these idiots who have no concept of what's really going on out there. It's time for change. It's time for a new leader.
Christian, can you keep it down in there? Jesus.
John, this is about balance. You can't just tackle one problem and forget about the others.
I think it's best we leave it there. Our thanks to Christian and David. Now, everyone is experiencing their own version of lockdown. Edward Chadwick is no different. Edward has changed his name by deed poll. He's now known as Dogman. Dogman, welcome.
All right, John. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Nice to chat. Funny times, eh?
Funny times indeed. So, Dogman, I have to ask, what prompted the change?
Well, to be honest, I just wanted to know what a dog's life was like. And one thing led to another. I quite like it. I find it very relaxing.
And what does lockdown mean in the life of a dog?
Oh, it's great. 3 solid meals a day plus treats. It's great for the ex-wife too. She gets out to go outside, a bit of exercise and the like, walks and that. Excuse me.
Right, interesting. And what do your friends think about your new life?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Sorry, what's the point of this interview? Sharon? It's ridiculous. Fine. And a big thank you to Dogman for taking the time to speak to us this evening. Okay, time for the weather. Penelope, over to you.
Oh, hello, John. You're looking very, very sunny today, John. I like your sexy shirt, John.
Very nice of you to say, Penelope. What have we got in store this week?
Well, it's gonna be sunny all week, Johnny. Sexy sunny. Check it. You better get those little trunks on or get yourself on the barbecue, you little sexy sausage. It's getting to be over 20 degrees in London on Saturday, Johnny. Get those barbecues out and get grilling, baby. Scissor, scissor.
Well, that's great news. Everyone has a sunny weekend.
And I love me a flaming hot anchor, Johnny. Give me some of that scissor. Scissor me senseless.
Okay, that's the weather. Right. To finish up this evening, we're going to have some live music. And it's my absolute pleasure to welcome Randy Colvin, country legend, live from Nashville, Tennessee. Randy, welcome.
Well, hey, Johnny. Hey, y'all. Thanks for having me.
So you've recently reached the summit of the UK charts with your latest single, which also features as the soundtrack to The Real Housewives of Cheltenham. How are you finding fame in the UK?
Well, my pleasure, my privilege, Johnny boy. I can't tell you how well things have gone back in the UK this year. So many pairs of poundings being thrown at me on stage, I can't even remember, Johnny. The wife, she ain't best pleased about it, though. But what can you do when you're a superstar? And you're a megastar rock star, Johnny boy?
A lovely anecdote. Well, thanks very much for joining us. And I'd like to say good evening to all of our viewers. And Randy, take us away.
I got just the song for y'all, Johnny. It's called COVID-19. It's about the COVID. You want me to play it, y'all? I'll play it, y'all. You've been talking to me on the telephone that you're lonely, drinking whiskey and dreaming of a night. You're not alone, sitting in self-isolation. We ain't got much communication. WhatsApp and Skype, Facebook and Zoom, Google Hangouts and House Party. Funny how much you miss your friends, your family too, but this will end. If Facebook's not your thing, then just give us a ring. Your nan still got a landline number, so call on me. I'm all that you need, and all Have some of that, y'all. You bastard.